It's a zero touch fabric discovery. I mean, how it discovers the fabric? So there are three steps: first, second, third, fourth. So there are, so let's suppose you connected your spine, you connected your leaf, right? So it is leaf 1, it is leaf 2, it is leaf 3, and epic 1. And let's suppose you connected only epic 1, right? And epic will be connected on the leaf only. So here let's talk about, I connected the epic 1 here. So what will happen? Leaf will send a LLDP message to the epic. As soon as LLDP message reaches to the epic, epic will discover leaf 1 serial number. So once you log into the epic, you will see the serial number of this leaf 1. Second step, what you have to do, you have to manually configure what? Two things: node ID and node name. So these two you have to manually configure on the epic. So as soon as you connected the epic, leaf will send the LLDP. On the epic, you will see the serial number of the leaf 1. Log into the epic, check the serial number. If it's matching, go and manually put the node ID and node name. So let's suppose I configure it 101 and the node name is leaf 1. As soon as you will do that, right, a DSCP DORA process happens between them. So what do you mean by DSCP processing? DSCP processing means all the leaves and spine will get a IP address from a pool. We say as a tap pool. So now you will say that where I will configure the tap pool. So as I said, when you connected the epic here, you have to do the basic configuration. So in the basic configuration of the epic controller, you will define the tap pool. So let's suppose I configure a tap pool of 172.16.10.10/24, and we remember that whatever tap pool you are selecting here, that subnet should not be routable inside your data center and outside your data center. So that will be only used for communication between spine and leaf privately. It will be under a VRF, we say as an overlay VRF. Overlay 1.
Okay, it's like a loopback IP of each node.
You can say that. So generally, what we say as a tap IP. But for the understanding, you can say that, right? So what will be your first step? First step will be you connect the physical connectivity, power on the leaf and spine, connect it, connect the epic controller on one of the leaf, right? Take the console of the epic, just configure the epic, right? Configure all the how it will you will be configuring. As soon as you will take the console, it will ask, do you want to go to, just like a router, it asks, do you want to go to the basic configuration? You will say yes. It will ask what is your username, what is your password, what is your tap IP, what is your tap VLAN, what is your outbound IP address, gateway, management pool, everything. It will ask. You have to just put it, right? And you have to save it. Now as soon as you will done, leaf will send a LLDP. LLDP will contain the serial number of the leaf. You will get this serial number on the epic. Then you have to do the manual configuration, the node name and the node IP of the node name and the node ID of the leaf. And as soon as you will done this, a DORA process will starts between leaf and epic. In the DORA process, epic will provide a IP address to this leaf from this pool. So suppose let's say epic will provided 172.10.10/32 IP address. So it will be all 32/32. Right? Now once it is done, your leaf 1 is discovered, right? Now what will happen? Because your leaf, this 101 is connected to spine 1 and spine 2. So LLDP process between these two will happen. The directly connected interface of the that 101 leaf. And once the LLDP process will happen, EPIC will discover your spine 1 and spine 2 serial number, right? Then again you have to manually put the node ID and the node name. So let's see, I manually configure the node ID 101 and 102 and spine 1 and spine 2 in the controller, and I will update that GUI part. As soon as I will do that, a DSCP process will start between these two, and the EPIC will provide an IP address from this pool. So let's say spine will get the IP address 172.10.10.11/32, and it will get 172.10.10.12/32. Now, what is the left part? Left part will be leaf 2 and leaf 3. Then the LLDP process between L2 and this L3 will happen, and the same way its information serial number will be discovered by on the controller.
Wait.
Then again you have to do the
sorry. See, between like S1 and L2, we need to manually configure the IPs for the physical interfaces.
No.
Then how it will
you have to
discover?
physically connect it. It will discover via DSCP. DORA process happens, na? I mean the S1 will broadcast that I want to have the MAC. I want to have the IP address of from the tap pool. So that broadcast will come to the EPIC also. EPIC will send the IP.
Okay, for that it will mention that this port, for this port I need IP, right?
Correct.
Because there are different
No,
physical
not port.
interfaces.
No, not for this port. It will be just like a loopback IP, as I said. Each spine or each leaf
Right.
will have only one tap IP address.
Right. But let's say, once this EPIC has to communicate with L2, right? It will go via S1 then L2, right?
Yes, correct.
Then there
So
there
all
should
the
be
communication
IP.
will be.
Then how S1 will forward traffic to L2? It will be on this physical interface, right? Via physical interface.
No, it will take this tap IP address as a source IP address. For every communication, there will. For every IP communication, what happens? There will be a source IP and destination IP. So in traditional network, what happens? The exit interface will be the source IP. Generally happens, right? From the exit interface, from that interface, the IP it takes and it uses as a source IP. But in the ACI, this tap IP address will be the source. If a traffic is coming from, if the S1 is sending a traffic, the source IP will be the tap IP address of S1.
And which next hop? Let's say S1 has to send traffic to L2. There is a physical port.
See, leave that for now.
Okay.
Once I will, come to the traffic flow, that I will explain here. Right?
Okay.
So, but for now, just remember that for every communication, tap IP address will be used between leaf and spine. Nothing else.
Okay.
Any traffic?
That's okay, but what is like leaf comprises of? It's a hardware, any particular model, or
I'm coming. Just let me finish this fabric discovery. Okay. So as soon as your EPIC discovers the serial number, you have to manually configure the node ID and the node name. So again, the DORA process will happen between your leaf and your EPIC, and your leaf will get the unique IP address from the tap pool. So each leaf and spine will have a unique IP address from that tap pool, and that will be used for your traffic flow. And I said there will be no IP routing, there will be a VXLAN works here between. All your communication will be on the VXLAN part, right? So in the VXLAN, what happens if you say your all data traffic will be encapsulated to VXLAN header. And what VXLAN header says? VX header says that outer IP, outer destination IP, outer source IP, and that all these your data data traffic. And what is your outer source IP and outer destination IP? So if my source is on leaf 1 and my destination is on leaf 3, so my source IP will be the tap IP address of the leaf 1 and my destination IP will be tap IP of the leaf 3, because your actual data traffic is encapsulated in the VXLAN. Now you got my point,
Right.
how it happens. So there will be no L3 interfaces between your spine and leaf. Only ISS works and VXLAN works between them, and it's configured automatically. You don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
Okay. Now once your leaf and spines are discovered, right, between your fabric, underlay connectivity is formed. So that I said, underlay means overlay, one tunnel will be formed. So that will be used a communication between your spine and leaf. Once underlay connectivity is formed, leaf and spines, I mean for their communication between leaves and spine, there will be a SSL certificate that is shared between leaf and spine, and it uses 1024 bits of SSL. So all your traffic, any communication, any infra related communication happens between your leaf and spine, it will use the SSL certificate. That means your infra related communication means discovery of your fabric, all the control plane traffic, all your other, I am not talking about the data traffic, only control plane traffic and the a communication between your spines and leaf, the fabric communication, all will be encrypted with 104 bit SSL certificate, and this certificate will be provided by the Cisco. Okay, so these are the zero touch fabric discovery. See, you don't have to configure spine or leaf, only thing you have to configure epic, that's it, and everything will happen automatically. So that is why it says it's a zero touch fabric discovery. Okay, so okay, Cisco ACI is the open platform. You can configure the controller via REST API GUI, or you can either configure with the help of NXOS CLI, right? You can integrate any router, virtual switch, L2 switch on the any of the leaf. So on the spine, nothing is connected. Every external connectivity has to be done on the leaf. But when it is a data center, if you are using a higher version or a higher architecture of ACI like multi-pod or a multi-site, which from the ACI 2.2 onwards, multi-pod and multi-site happens. Here you can connect the IPN routers. Else, every data center environment, whether it is a load balancer, whether it is a firewall, whether it is your external router, internet router, MPLS router, L2 switch, hardware, servers, virtual machine, ESXi, anything, you have to connect it to the leaf only. Nothing else will be connected on the spine. But if you are using a multi-site or a multi-pod architecture, in that case you have an option to connect your IPN router to your spine. That's it. But here also you will not be connecting your servers, firewall, load balancer, nothing. Only IPN router. So what is IPN router? IPN router is a inter-pod network. So if you have a two pod, one pod is ACI here. It's suppose if I talk about India, let's say one pod is in your Gurgaon, another pod is in Noida, right? So you can connect it via IPN. So on the spine it can be connected. So it will just like a pod, two different pods. So here in our case, in our class, I will not be using multi-site and multi-pod, only enterprise ACI I will be going for.
Pod,
and then
excuse me, sir. A pod is always another locations.
Yes, pod will be another locations, or you can also configure. So let's suppose if you are a service provider, right? Now if you are a service provider, you can use different pods. So in the same data center there will be a 50 pod. And if you are providing a managed services, so and if the customer is willing to take one pod, you can give it, right? So interpod also in the same data center, there will be different rack, and each rack there will be a set of spine and set of leaves, and a set of AP controller. This one set is one pod. Okay.
You can say
So,
one fabric is one pod.
yeah, you can say correct, right? So your ACI can be easily connected to VXLAN switch. It can support VLAN. It can support Ethernet. It can support OSPF, EIGRP, eBGP, IBGP static routes. So it's an open platform. Anything you can use it and you can connect it. Okay. So I am leaving this. Okay. So let's talk about first. What is the hardwares and other stuff. Then I will come back and I'll start with the ACI. What's the network profile and all other stuff. So let's talk about first Nexus 9K at a glance. I mean just a high level overview. So your spines and leaf, they are from the Nexus 9K series. So in the Nexus 9K series, you can use it on the NXOS mode and in the ACI mode. If you are using those switches in the NXOS mode, that means you have to do a manually configuration of everything. You are not using ACI. But if you are, or NXOS mode means you have booted your hardware with the NXOS image. But if you want your 9K, to work as a ACI mode, then you have to boot all your 9K via ACI image. So there will be two different type of image, NXOS image and ACI image. If you want to do manual configuration, no automation, nothing, just buy the 9K, boot the 9K with the NXOS image, do manual configuration, no automation, nothing will happen. It's just like a traditional hardware. But if you want automation, if you want orchestration, if you want policy instantiation, then you have to boot your 9K with the ACI image and then connect like a spine and leaf architecture, connect the EPIC, and it will start working. So 9K is a primary model for the ACI. Got it?
Okay.